Is he not saying anything else? Has the feds even questioned Track yet? Because, I mean, he told the world that he knew what went on and so this and so that, and so he started branding his page as.
What if I told you that someone from inside LilDurk's OTF camp is snitching, and they're spilling the cold hard truth about FBG Duck's murder? Forget the rumors. This insider's testimony could flip the entire story on its head, and it's got Durk's name all over it. This isn't just street gossip. This is a revelation that could change everything. According to this insider, Duck wasn't a random casualty. He wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, he was hunted, set up by people he thought were his own. And the web of connections being uncovered right now, it could rock the rap world to its core. But that's not even the real kicker. What if King Von wasn't just another victim of this deadly war? What if his death was part of something bigger, something darker than anyone's willing to admit? Here's the truth they never wanted you to hear. This conspiracy runs deep, too deep, and it could bring down some of the biggest names in the game. The loyalty, the betrayals, the lies, they're all about to come to light.
Oh man, we stand together, man. The streets rocking with it, man. The trenches rocking with it. I don't want to be an A-list artist. I don't want to do all that shit, cause we got want to be like us. Want to be the streets. Want to come back to the streets. Want to come back to the trenches.
The streets of Chicago aren't just a battleground for music, they're a fight for survival. On one side, you've got OTF, Only the Family, led by Lil Durk, a rapper who's clawed his way from the city's blood-soaked trenches to global success. On the other side, FBG, Flyboy Gang, with FBG Duck as its fearless and unapologetic voice, standing tall against the tide of Chicago's brutal street culture.
You know me.
Yeah, I know you.
You know what I'm saying? I don't put other what I got going on with the next man.
You never have, and that's why I respected you.
You see me?
know?
So it's like, if they feel like they gotta show them that much respect, well, they like we ain't gonna.
You don't want to with them anyway.
Right.
Basically, you don't want to me anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it ain't really about we with Durk, so we ain't gonna him.
Right.
Cause you ain't grow up with Durk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't grow up with Durk. Y'all been knowing Durk about 2-3 years or something like that.
Right.
3, 4, however long it's been.
Right.
You ain't from where he from.
Right.
You don't owe him no loyalty.
For years, these two factions threw diss tracks back and forth, but the beef was never just for the cameras. It was a deadly war over power and respect. Tensions finally reached a boiling point on August 4th, 2020. FBG Duck was shopping in Chicago's upscale Gold Coast when a barrage of shots erupted. In broad daylight, bullets sprayed across the crowded street, striking him multiple times. He fought on the pavement, but it proved fatal.
Hey y'all, what's going on? I'm here. I'm in the Gold Coast. I'm in the Gold Coast right now. Hey man, I'm just riding my bike, y'all. I'm just riding my bike. Man, they FBG Duck, man. I don't know who man. I just ran into this, y'all. Man.
The daylight execution of FBG Duck in Chicago's Gold Coast stunned the city. This wasn't a random hit. It went down in one of the wealthiest, most surveilled neighborhoods, with high-end boutiques and cameras watching it all. Rumors spread fast. OTF was the prime suspect, and soon, whispers of Lil Durk's involvement grew louder. Was the king of Chicago rap really behind it? The streets demanded answers.
5 alleged Chicago street gang members now facing federal charges in connection with the death of a local rapper downtown. The charges announced today by the U.S. attorney, who says social media played a role in this case. Our Patrick Elwood live at the Dirksen Federal Building now with the latest.
Why wasn't he saying a word? To some, his silence screamed guilt, like a confession waiting to spill. To others, it was the calm before a storm that could tear everything apart. But in Chicago, when the streets start whispering, you can bet your life someone's always listening and watching.
See, and we know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all on the internet. We know y'all ain't gangsta, y'all ain't try to do that. Ain't no more FB.
Betrayal from within, that's the kind of knife that twists deep, cutting harder than any enemy ever could. The insider who finally spoke up wasn't some outsider. He was a trusted member of OTF, someone tied directly to Lil Durk's circle. His decision to flip wasn't just about snitching. It was about choosing survival in a world where talking out of turn means you get erased. No questions asked.
Any thoughts on him? Like, did you know him? Did you know him before? Like everything like that? I don't know. Okay. All I know, don't say that shit about Troy or rest in peace. Duck. Okay. So you got anything about We, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, don't say shit about Troy. That's it. Don't say shit about Troy.
The snitch, whose identity remains concealed for obvious reasons, dropped an explosive revelation that shook Chicago's street game to its core. He claimed a $100,000 price tag had been put on FBG Duck's head, and this wasn't some urban legend. It was cold, hard cash, allegedly coming straight from the upper echelons of OTF. The insider painted a chilling picture. The beef between OTF and FBG had reached a boiling point, with Duck's increasingly brazen disses, especially in tracks like Dead Bodies, putting a massive target on his back. According to him, the bounty was retaliation for the growing disrespect. The streets had already felt the tension, but when a figure like Duck was gunned down in one of the most watched and guarded neighborhoods in the city, it felt like a military-grade hit. Methodical, ruthless, and planned from the top down.
Ain't no lighter? Man, let's stop it, man. People got old video scenes and old everything. Ain't no lighter? Hey, let me see the keys. Grab a light out the trunk. Sweet down for now.
Real VV, stupid man. You know?
Real old. Let me see the keys. You trophy like that, man. I thought that looked like a baby.
What makes this testimony even more ruthless is how it tore apart the sacred code of gang loyalty. The snitch didn't just name names, he laid bare the entire operation, detailing every calculated move behind the scenes. He knew speaking out would paint a bullseye on his own head, but he went for it anyway, dragging the truth into the open no matter how much blood would spill. And no matter who the snitch was, the evidence didn't lie. All roads led straight to O-Block. The streets may swear by silence, but technology, it doesn't care about codes. It wasn't long before digital crumbs started peeling back the layers, exposing the chilling truth behind FBG Duck's assassination.
FBG Duck had been in the midst of a shopping excursion in the upscale Gold Coast area.
Surveillance cameras all over the city captured a chilling scene. The footage showed two vehicles tearing away from the scene, leaving nothing but smoke and chaos in their wake, just moments after Duck was gunned down in cold blood. Investigators traced the vehicle's movements straight to O-Block, the notorious heart of Chicago's gangland, where LilDurk's most trusted affiliates run the show. This wasn't just a random hit, it was a hit with purpose. The timing, the precision, the exact route. It screamed coordination, like a professional hit orchestrated by the highest levels. No street beef, no coincidence. This was a cold-blooded execution with the street's biggest names pulling the strings.
Cheryl, tonight, friends say it was a Chicago rapper who was gunned down here on one of Chicago's ritziest streets. They say two other people were also shot when four gunmen, witnesses say, jumped out of cars and fired from just a few feet away.
But the cameras, they were just the beginning. The real bombshell came from phone records, those cold, unforgiving digital footprints that no one could erase. Authorities sifted through the data, and what they uncovered was explosive. Calls, pings, and messages tied key suspects not just to the crime scene, but to each other, revealing a network of connections that went straight to the heart of OTF. The conversations in the hours before and after Duck's murder, they didn't just raise eyebrows, they pointed the finger directly at the people closest to Lil Durk. This wasn't just a random act of violence, it was a meticulously planned operation, and the digital trail made it impossible to deny.
FBG Duck had been in the midst of a shopping excursion in the upscale Gold Coast area, accompanied by two companions. In a shocking turn of events, the serenity of the moment was shattered when two vehicles carrying armed assailants pulled up and a barrage of gunfire ensued, targeting the trio. FBG Duck, whose real name was Carlton D. Weekly, succumbed to his injuries upon arrival at Northwestern Memorial, leaving a somber void in the music world. His last words before getting assassinated still echo in the music industry to this very day. On the 4th of August in the year 2020, Carlton Weekly, a prominent Chicago rapper globally recognized as FBG Duck of the Flyboy Gang, commenced the day with an optimistic outlook. This particular day held exceptional significance for him, as it marked the occasion for purchasing gifts in anticipation of his son's impending birthday, scheduled to take place on the 11th. Among his various roles, FBG Duck embraced the role of a father most dearly. Accompanied by his girlfriend, he embarked on a journey that morning aiming for the Gold Coast area, a locale renowned.
Then came the spending spree. Just days after Duck's death, the suspects were flaunting their newfound riches. Flashy cars, designer clothes, luxury watches, like they were celebrating a victory. Authorities believe this wasn't coincidence. It was the blood money, the payoff from the $100,000 bounty on Duck's life. They didn't even try to hide it. Surveillance footage, phone records, and financial transactions all pieced together a story that's too clear to ignore. A story of cold-blooded execution and the cash reward that followed. No amount of street code could ever wipe away the trail they left behind.
Alleged members of Chicago's O-Block gang have been convicted in the 2020 of a rapper known as FBG Duck. Duck's real name was Carlton Weekly. He was shopping on Oak Street in the Gold Coast. The Tribune reports it took the jury 2 days to arrive at a verdict. The 6 convicted suspects are men between the ages of 24 and 34. All 6 were convicted of conspiracy to commit and in the aid of. 5 of them were also convicted of using a gun when Weekly was shot. Prosecutors say the men targeted Weekly as part of a long-running gang dispute.
As the investigation unfolded, the legal hammer hit with devastating force. In October 2021, a federal indictment was unsealed, charging 5 men with direct ties to O-Block: Charles C. Murda Liggins, Kenneth Kenny Mac Robertson, to Carlos Los Offord, Christopher C. Thang Thomas, and Marcus Muop Smart. But the real bombshell came when FBG Duck's mother, Lashina Weekly, dropped a wrongful death lawsuit that sent shockwaves across the music industry. She didn't just target the street-level hitters, she went straight for the top, naming Lil Durk and OTF as the true masterminds. The suit accused Durk of using his label as a front to fund a deadly gang operation, claiming that Duck's murder was orchestrated by a network of violence and money. She painted Durk as the financial architect, using his rap empire to bankroll the hit. This wasn't just a street war, it was a full-blown conspiracy, and Durk's empire was at the center of it all.
When I go home and tell my grandkids that their father, justice has been served, that's gonna be a big burden lifted off my shoulders.
Meanwhile, the internet went wild, splitting the public right down the middle. Social media was on fire with hashtags, arguments, and accusations flying in every direction. Durk's diehard fans were quick to dismiss the allegations, calling them nothing but haters trying to bring him down. They pointed to his meteoric rise, his family man image, and his charity work as proof that he wasn't the villain the streets were painting him to be. But the other side wasn't buying it, claiming Durk was using his clean image as a shield while pulling the strings behind a deadly operation. The battle for truth was anything but civil, with each side digging in deeper as the conspiracy theories spread like wildfire.
Jury in Chicago has found 6 gang members guilty for carrying out the brazen murder of drill rapper FBG Duck in August of 2020 right in the Gold Coast. The jury of 5 men and 7 women have remained anonymous during the trial. Out of fear of their lives, they deliberated for close to 16 hours over the course of 3 days before reaching a verdict. During the trial, prosecutors outlined a gang feud that was brewing for a week before the rapper was shot. 6 men were convicted of murder in the aid of racketeering and conspiracy to commit murder. That carries a life sentence. FBG Duck, whose real name is Carlton Weekly, leaves behind young children. His mother says justice has been served.
I just want to thank the United States government for doing a very good job on making sure that these guys would never hurt another mom or another child again.
And now, with Durk locked up for allegedly orchestrating the hit on Quando Rondo, the feds are turning up the heat. Investigators are digging into every death linked to Durk's name, and FBG Duck's murder is front and center. The clock's ticking, and soon, the truth about who really pulled the trigger on Duck is going to explode. If more evidence emerges connecting Durk's money and influence to O-Block's violent underworld, this could go from a legal battle to a full-blown conspiracy unraveling at the highest levels. Durk might be facing more than just the charges on the table right now. His empire could come crumbling down. But here's the real kicker. Is street loyalty worth the price when it costs lives? Or is justice finally coming for the powerful figures who've hidden behind music, wealth, and street cred for too long? This isn't just about rap anymore. It's about a deadly empire, and the truth has nowhere to hide. What do you think? Sound off in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And before you dip, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button. And let's keep the conversation respectful and full of love. Voila! Until next time!